Welcome back to another programming video. Today's topic is going to be data structures. We are using Python as our programming language, and without wasting further time, let's jump straight into it. Now, there are many data structures available within Python, but specifically for this lesson, I'm going to be focusing on lists. Next video will be on tuples, and then we're going to be looking at sets and then close with dictionaries. Now, what is a list? A list is an ordered collection of items, and items that can be either strings, can be integers, it can be float, it can be a mix of those together in the simple list. Now, what's good about a list is that you can add, you can remove, you can access the item based on the index. I've gone ahead and created a simple list of fruit. As you can see, fruit on the left hand side, that is the name of our variable. And then the list is basically what we see here, which is two square brackets. And in between, I've put variables, or rather names of fruits. And then those fruit are comma separated. That's how a list is made. So if you remove a comma here, you see it sees that as one, but that's not what you want. You basically want to have that as a list of apple, and then you have a banana, you have a mango. So that's a list. Now, as like I said, we can perform a lot of actions on this. The first one being, for example, assuming I want to know what the first item on the list is. You need to keep in mind that a list, when it's created, always goes from 0 to the last item on the list. That's going to be 0, that's going to be 1, that's going to be 2. And those are indexes. They're not visible, but that's something to keep in mind, because that's how we access a specific value within a list. And how do we go by doing that? So usually what you want to do, you're going to type fruit, and you open square brackets, and then you pass in the index or the value, the index of the item that you're trying to retrieve. In this case, if you pass the value of 0, that will represent the value or the string equivalent value of the string apple. So that's what we want to do. Now, in order for us to be able to display that, I need to surround that with a print, and I'm just gonna put that and then close. And what's going to happen is that print will help us print the value of the item that is located at position 0. So if I run my Python code, and you can see I'm getting the word apple, just like that. And if I change that to position 2, for example, which is the last one, I get mango. And if I pass a value that does not exist, I get an error saying that the list index is out of range. That's how you know that the item is missing. So I'm going to put it back to a value that we do have in the list. Now, how do I go about adding, assuming maybe along the way something has been passed? Let's say, for example, there is a new item. So we're going to say new underscore fruit, fruit. And we're going to say that fruit, we're getting that from the user. So, and we're going to say enter, not eater, enter new fruit. Let's put it that way. So now that allowed us to add whatever the user provides to the list that already exists. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the print, which is not print, we're going to use fruit, and we're going to say there's a dot, and a dot allow us to see what's available in terms of action. In this case, we want to do an append, and then we're going to open close bracket, and then we're going to pass in the value of the new fruit that was provided. And once we've done that, we want to see what's inside the list. Has it been updated, and where was it added? Now, naturally, what Python would do is, once the list or the new item that's been added will always be added at the end of the list, meaning it will do something like this, a comma separated, and whatever the new value is. So that's what we need to expect at the end. So now for that to happen, we're just going to print it, and just going to say fruit, and basically we should see everything that's been updated. So I'm gonna run the code one more time, and you see enter fruit. I'm gonna say grapes, and as you can see, the new item has been added, and it was added right at the end of our list. Now, what if I want to remove something? Assuming now currently I want to say, well, I want to remove an apple. Then, well, it's just simple as that. So you just go as fruit and you do another one, you put a dot, and then I'm going to use the word pop there, and I'm going to pass the index of the value that I want to remove. And all I'm going to do, copy that, that, just to display what changes have been made. And I'm going to run the code one more time and pass in grapes. As you can see, it first printed the value of the item added, and then I remove the fruit in position 0, as you can see, and then I'm left with the value of banana, mango, and grapes. So that's how you go about making some changes. So you can see I brought in some element of a little bit of dynamicism to this. I don't know if the word exists, but it does allow us to explore and see what's possible and what can be combined with the logic or how to go by using list. And the limit is as far as you can go, and also depending on the use case. So I hope this has brought some sort of knowledge, understanding of what is possible using list, and I hope you learned something new. Until next time, keep well. Bye bye.